Hey, this is Dr. Karin. In this video, we're going to talk about quantum manifesting, how to amplify the law of attraction. Now, it's my guess that you've likely heard of law of attraction. It's kind of mainstream now. But this new paradigm about the ability for you to quantum manifest everything that you desire is going to accelerate what you want directly into your life. Stay tuned because I'm going to give you the tips and pointers for how to get there. So I love the topic of quantum manifesting because it's about these higher frequencies that we have access to right now. By the way, the earth is evolving. This ain't your grandma's frequency going on right now. You actually have the ability to tap into vibrational levels, frequency levels that are much higher than we've ever been able to as a consciousness, as a collective consciousness, and you individually. And if you're here, your eagerness tells me that you're ready to find this skill. Now, quantum manifesting is about picking the timeline that you desire. This takes law of attraction a step further. Did you know that you were able to pick a timeline different than the timeline that you may be headed down now? You know, at any time right now, you're able to pick the timeline of your life, the direction of your life. You're able to choose what outcome you would like based on intention, based on the energy that you carry, based on your own visualization, and based on your belief that it is possible. I'm going to give you some tips on how to guarantee that this quantum manifesting works for you. So first of all, science shows us, and Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot. I love his work. He talks about how they've realized that matter doesn't influence the field. In other words, the things around you aren't necessarily influencing how you feel in your field and your vibrational essence, but your field is actually influencing matter. It's not matter that influences field, it's the field that influences matter. In other words, your field, your expression of emotion, your expression of beliefs, your expression of intention is what's influencing what is drawn to you, the matter that represents your life story. Therefore, even though it seems like things are hardwired in, it seems like things are just going to be the way they're going to be, that is not true. You get to pick what you desire based on the desires of your heart. You get to pick the matter that shows up to you. You get to pick the present you and the future you that shows up by merely setting an intention and using the refining process of learning how to believe in and line up with the focus that then emanates and attracts to you the future that you actually desire. So how do I pick a different timeline? Well, you can go online and find a ton of different really cool techniques to pick it, but I'm going to give you some really simple ways that you can just do it without any extra objects, but just with your mind and with the intention of your energy field. Now, I love Lori Ladd. She gave a really great technique in one of her videos that I've used myself and I use with my clients, and I think it is super effective. So I wanted to give her credit for it. And she talks about looking at future you. So here's the deal. Your mind does not know the difference between an experience, whether you experienced it in the past, whether you are currently experiencing it, or you're going to experience it in the future, if you're thinking about it and if you've put focus on it. All your mind knows is this is happening now. It doesn't realize it was or is going to be. It thinks it is happening now. Therefore, when you're thinking about something and putting focus on it, you're expanding the presence of that in your field. And what did we just say? Your field is what contributes to, what attracts the matter that then is attracted directly to you. So by focusing on what you truly desire for your future, for the timeline that you want to show up in your life, you have to start focusing on that as if it is here. So I do this through prayer, and I'm going to use Lori Ladd's technique as I'm talking to you through. It's more of a meditation. If I'm going through a period specific to, let's say, relationship or something with work, and I start to get really scared because I'm like, oh crap, this really bad thing's about to happen. I might get betrayed. Nobody may sign up for my thing. Whatever it is that I'm afraid of, worst case scenario, that has happened that I may predict is going to happen. The minute I'm thinking about that, I'm actually having myself experiencing it as if it's happening. Therefore, I'm going to attract that which matches it to me. So it likely will happen if I'm always thinking about the worst case scenario of what's going to happen. So the minute I feel myself in fear, I say, oh my gosh, I go into my meditation and I say, Spirit, God, universe, whoever you meditate and pray to, I do not choose that timeline right now. I negate the presence of that timeline. I do not pick the timeline based in fear. And I see my detachment. I detach from that timeline. Instead, I pick the timeline that represents whatever it is that you want to represent. I pick the timeline where I'm in abundance. I pick the timeline where I'm in love. I pick the timeline. Now, when you're picking timelines, be aware that what's the most important is that you're picking a timeline based on the feeling that you're going to have. Okay, so we have to stay detached from the exact outcome, from the exact when or how or who is going to show up or how it's going to show up. The pathway to it is up to God and the universe, okay? So what you want to select when you're picking the timeline is you pick the one that represents the feeling that you desire, okay? Because that's what you want to expand. Because what you really want when you get the thing that you think you really want, the relationship, the job, the success, what you're actually craving is the feeling you're going to get in receiving it. And the feeling that you're going to get in receiving that thing is likely peace in your life, joy in your life, and a sense of freedom. So start focusing on those feelings. So I pick the timeline where I feel joy and freedom, and really sit for at least 17 seconds up to a few minutes. Picture yourself, and Lori Ladd teaches, imagine a hologram of future you coming next to you, because that person, you, actually exists in a future dimension. All the timelines, but actually all these options exist, so you got to connect to the one that you want. She pictures a hologram standing next to her of future her. So let's do this. Picture whatever it feels comfortable for you, a hologram of yourself, future you standing next to you. Get to know that person. So for me, it would sound like this. So future me is standing there. I really want to be successful. I want to reach more people. I want to have abundance. I want to feel love. I want my house to have more harmony in it, to be a great mom, all right? So all those things are actually bringing me to a sense of love and of freedom. And so I say to myself, gosh, well, how are you living your life, future me? What are you doing? What are you wearing? How are you showing up in the world? How are you doing your hair? How much jewelry are you putting on? Silly things like that, but it all contributes to this avatar that you really want to step into on a quantum level, picking this timeline. What are you eating? What kind of vacations are you choosing? How are you feeling about yourself? What is showing up in your life that maybe isn't here right now? What does your home look like? How decluttered is it? Have the conversation about all those areas of your life with future you, and imagine, how is he or she moving in the world? How is he or she presenting? How is he or she showing up? What kinds of things are they doing? Get to know that person that is in that timeline, and then become him or her. Lean into him or her, because you are creating that timeline in a co-creative process with the universe. Again, you are creating your field. So by you creating your field, that belief system in you is going to become stronger. You start dressing like future you. I have a friend that I know that she wants to be so successful that all she wears is like nice clothes. She literally got rid of all of her sweats. She won't even wear them anymore. She's so lined up. She dresses herself every day. That may or may not be a technique that you would use, but she wanted to line up with successful her in the future so much that she started acting like herself, the herself that she wanted to become so much. And guess what? She is successful in spades right now. And she talks about this in her podcast, about how she got rid of anything sludgy in her life, because that's not who she wanted to be. And the more she was holding on to it, the more she was continuing to pick that timeline. But instead, she went ahead and lined herself up with this timeline, and she indeed became it. So before I finish up the final steps to using this really simple yet really powerful method of quantum manifesting, if you like this leading edge material, please click the like button. And if you'd love to hear more of this as it's coming out, click the subscribe button so that you get the videos as soon as they're released. Let's get back to quantum manifesting. One of the key pieces to really nailing this process on the head, to quantum manifesting, picking this future timeline where you're super duper happy, is to stop talking about the past timelines or the present timelines in a negative fashion, okay? Your words hold a certain amount of energy. They create energy in your field. So we want to solely 100% focus on future you as if it is already showing up. And that's the second key that I'm going to leave you with. First key, stop talking about anything that you don't like about your life. Stop talking about anything you didn't like about the past. Let's let that go. That timeline is done. It's taught us to be who we are. It's taught us what we desire in our life. We offer gratitude towards it. Anytime you find yourself complaining or going back and wanting to relive past pain, remember, you're then bringing it into your energy field. And we don't want that. We're going to start letting that go and being really, really cognizant of the words that we're using, because, words and thoughts become things. Again, you're attracting matter to you that's going to match it. So be very, very particular and cognizant about watching your words as you're choosing that timeline. So to use your words to choose this timeline, we're going to use words that talk about it as if it's already here. I want you to do this in verbal form and in written form, okay? So speak out loud as if. Don't ever say things like, nothing ever works out for me. Oh, I knew that client wasn't going to sign that contract. Oh, no surprise, that didn't work out. You got to stop doing that, because every time you do that again, you click yourself back to the other timeline. So instead, if a client maybe does something that disappoints you, like maybe comes out of a contract that you thought was going to be your key to success. You say, you know what? Everything is in perfect order, and I know that this is for my highest good. I can't wait to see the next client that comes in. I can't wait to see the success that's coming in because this happened. This is probably the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't wait to see what happens next. By doing that, you flip those negative experiences on their heads, you alchemize them into positive experiences, and you let the universe know that you're in agreement that everything is working out in your favor, because it is, and you fully expect miracles to show up. And that's the final key. Expect your miracles to show up. Live your life as if they are coming, and when they come, always express gratitude for them. Always sit in so much appreciation. Always sit in so much beautiful, grateful curiosity for what's next. By following these steps of quantum manifestation, you're going to be amazed by the miracles that show up in your life. Good luck. So if all this talk about quantum manifesting really turns you on and you want more of it, I'd love to see you in my free masterclass. We're going to be talking about activating the rebel soul inside of you, and I'm going to be giving you key ingredients to take more steps towards manifesting what you really desire in your life. You got to jump in though, so click the link below. It's absolutely free. Sign up for that masterclass. I can't wait to see you there.